So you want to buy a cottage, and you know that it's a different lifestyle, and it's a great lifestyle, and a lot of you already know that because you grew up at a cottage. But I want to remind you that a cottage is not a city. And so you're going to have to contend with dealing with life in a different way. And I'm thinking about the services. So you need to know what kind of hydro you have. Is it going to be enough for all of the things that you want to run at the cottage? What kind of heat source do you have? And is it going to be agreeable to your insurance broker that you use that kind of heat? Then what's your water source? How do you get potable water so that you have guests, family, able to have a drink of water whenever they want one? And then finally, what are you doing for your septic? You need to ask all of these questions when you're buying, or if you're buying a lot and you're intending to build. These are the things you're going to want to have organized right at the beginning, because these are essential. I'd like to start with, first of all, hydro. Right now, the minimum is 100 amp hydro. But I suggest that if you know where you're going with this cottage, what kinds of additions you're going to do, consult with a local electrician to see what is really needed, and do a plan so that you have what you want when you finalize. So if you decide you want to introduce a dishwasher, and you want to have the washer dryer here, and you want all of the conveniences of the city at your cottage, you need to arrange for that. Briefly, the next thing is you need to have heat. You may want to extend your time at the cottage into the fall, and you want to have insurance coverage. Right now, one of the best suggestions is to have some kind of propane heat, whether it is going to be a central furnace or whether it's going to be a propane fireplace. Choose what will be appropriate for your use and for the size of the cottage. You can also use electric baseboard, but you know right now that that will be pretty hefty if you've got all of them on at the same time. And also, you have to have enough amperage to make that work. The last two things are really important. One is, again, the water. If you don't have potable water, you're going to have to bring it. You can hook up to the lake if you just want to use lake water to shower, do the dishes, flush the toilet. But if you want really good potable water, that will require probably drilling a well or putting in a system that filters and disinfects the water that comes from the lake. Make sure you like the taste of the water from the lake if you're planning to do lake water intake. Well water here is so great. It may be hard. You may need to have a conditioner going forward, but it will be delicious, unlike city water ever is. And finally, you need a septic system of some sort. This requires expertise, and if you don't already have a septic system in place, you will have to consult with public health and or the township to get all the permits in place. I always recommend that you call a local installer to come and visit your property and ask that individual what suggestions would come forward for putting in a septic based on your needs. You can get this done by asking an expert before you have to go and make an application and pay for that application for the same information. So use a local who has a lot of expertise putting in these systems before you actually have to go and pay for an application to get one installed. My tip for the day.